morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast, and we have the playoffs set.
We do.
We know who's in. We know who's out.
You know who's playing when and
Let's
where.
start with the Dallas Cowboys. They are on the couch. They're on the couch.
I mean, it's true.
Next is the Minnesota Vikings on the couch.
Hey, we moved up to the – despite the Vikings struggles, we moved up to the number 8 seed in the NFC.
Hold on, Stagger. I want to come back to Pags real quick because that was a mighty powerful statement. Captain Obvious, when did the Cowboys ever get off the damn couch? Because I didn't know we were off it. I thought we were on that damn thing the whole season.
Listen, how was that game against the Giants yesterday? You guys showed all your dominance yesterday.
How was our game against Washington? I don't know. I mean, to be fair,
I can tell you all about my game against Washington. Not only was it against Washington, it was against the Zebras. Oh my God, was it against the Zebras? And I don't make them excuses.
It was the referees.
Just mute him now, and I'll go through the whole list. And not only that, your Dallas Mavericks suck balls too.
Oh, it's a good thing I'm not a Dallas Mavericks fan, so I could give a shit less. But that being said, though, I just want to say, no matter what you say, I don't care. And I wish Brad was here because I tell Brad to his face. Hold on. And Joe, I don't know if you're in the comments. I'm not looking at it, but I hope, Joe, you're here too when I say this. At the end of the day, Pags, I don't give a damn if I'm on the couch and you're in the playoffs or not. What I do know is we whipped your ass in Dallas and sent your ass packing. And that's all I cared about. Because you're right. At the end of the day, that was my Super Bowl. And guess what?
Whipped our ass.
Champion.
Whipped our ass.
Champion. No, I had my Super Bowl. You lost. I won.
Guess what? Who's got the ring last year? Who's got it? Who's still holding it right now? Who's still defending? Guess what? There. You can take all that hair on your beard, and it ain't going to make a shit of difference. We still are the defending champions.
You're right. No, you're absolutely right. You're the defending champions for about another month or so, and then it's over. You're done. Because you know you're not going to win a Super Bowl.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I think you got 2, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You have 2 Super Bowls. Philadelphia does, right?
Yeah.
We got 2.
Let me know when you get to 5.
And the most recent one. Don't talk to me about 30 years ago when you were a young man. I don't want to hear about when you were a young man. You can't do anything in the playoffs, that your team sucks.
Hey, you can't erase history. You can't take it away. That shit happened. We got 5 and you got 2.
I don't have to erase it. You guys do enough. You guys do enough to wow your way. Oh, we got 5 Super Bowls. We do.
At the end of the fucking day. At the end of the day, I still got 5 and you got 2.
I will just take
at least my team didn't have to own open tryouts when Dick Vermeil was there to form a team. Shut up and sit in the corner.
I would just take 1 Super Bowl, guys.
What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. Did you not have open tryouts for the Philadelphia?
Just because you watched the movie one day, doesn't make you even smart enough to know what the frig you're talking about. You have no idea. Listen, you're in the city that you even root for. You're just a Fugazi fan.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan, and I have no IQ. That's why I sit here alone by myself. That's okay. That's for another show and another day. But at the end of the freaking day, you can't tell me that shit didn't happen. Movie or no movie, blindside or no blindside, it happened.
Do you know?
Tell me it didn't happen. Tell me it didn't happen.
Do you know what actually occurred?
I don't have to know. All I have to know is that it occurred.
Obviously, Disney did that movie. Disney did that movie. Do you want to know what actually occurred?
Oh, please tell me. I'm listening. Bated ears.
So they actually had a carnival. They actually did something very similar to what the Flyers do every year. And in the meantime, they did all this stuff so that they could actually do the same type of workout that the Eagles do. That was what it was. In the meantime, they found somebody who was quick as hell. And then they gave a guy a shot. He's like, oh, you played football before? He's like, yeah, not really. That's what happened.
You do know.
It was dramatized because Disney doesn't have, they got to put the Mickey Mouse ears on it.
And you can bet on these two idiots right here on the show. Prop bets all the time. Use a QR code on the screen, up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee, in case you think one of them actually won.
I love how they're arguing who's won more Super Bowls. I'll just take one damn Super Bowl at this point.
Man.
Anyways, you got to start off this week with some vigor. It's playoff week, baby. The playoffs.
No, but
began.
I thought it was interesting. And I believe it was that Tampa game. Since we're talking about officiating earlier, I like how when they were in the end zone, oh boy, grabs him, turns his face mask around so you can actually see the ball coming at him. It's like, you're getting pass interference. Let me just turn your head around and help you not to get it, but he still got it anyway. And then they had some ticky-tack fouls where I saw some pulling the jerseys, and they were calling pass interference on that, which it is what it is. But I thought some of it was ticky-tack fouls that they were calling. You're right, Pags. I'm not going to deny that.
There was bad officiating just across the league in general over this weekend. That really kind of shaped some games, and it really feeds into the people that are, tinfoil hat. It's scripted, it's rigged, whatever. Like, some of the calls that you watched were wild. Like, you saw some pass interference, offensive pass interference that it wasn't. Right, like it was the most ticky-tack kind of offensive pass interference you could call, and then there were some like legit fouls that weren't called that you could see on the screen. The refs had amazing viewpoints of it, and no flag came out. So I mean, it was, and that's not any one game. Like, that was literally across the league. So it was
a lot of them.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I tell you, it really was. Interestingly enough, there wasn't many bad calls in the 49ers Seattle game.
No, that was
there wasn't a lot of calls at all.
Exactly.
It was actually not a lot of calls at all. Which I kind of liked. I was like, listen, if these guys are two good teams, let them actually play it out. Don't make a decision for them. Obviously, the NFL wanted Tampa in there. They didn't want Carolina in there.
It sure looked like it.
And they did that. Not only that, like, if you were watching any bit of the Atlanta game too, and I didn't get to see a lot of it, but there was a couple of plays I saw, and I was like, wow, they are trying to do anything they can to have the Saints win this game.
Yeah.
And
why do you feel that is, though? Why do you feel that the NFL would want Tampa in over Carolina? What would be the reasoning behind that? They just have.
I think it has something to do with the owner. I mean, I think it has to do with the ownership.
Right.
That's it.
I mean,
literally, that's it.
Having Baker in the playoffs is better than Bryce, right? Like, it's like, some of it is that because they want to create must-see TV.
Right. And then the comment there by Joe, though, that Baltimore kicker missed that kick. It had nothing to do with him purposely trying to miss the kick. Look at the extra point that Chris Boswell missed before that. The wind just grabbed that thing and just yanked it right to the right.
So those two kicks were wildly different, though.
They were different,
that extra point kick, like, shanked out of there. The Baltimore one never had a chance.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he didn't miss that kick on perfect. He just kicked it and just didn't get any bend on it at all. He kicked it, tried to play the wind, and just didn't get any bend on it at all.
And it makes you wonder, had they not did the play to go into the middle of the field,
that would have made it. That had enough push to it. I think he'd have still missed.
Yeah.
Even if they were on the left hash there, I think he'd have still missed that.
Because he tried to play the wind based on how that Boswell missed the extra point, and he kicked it to where the wind would have blown the ball back to, but the wind never grabbed his field goal. It grabbed the extra point, but his field goal just went straight through the wind and had any bite on it at all.
Well, he would have needed.
So I could have won $20.
He would have needed to kick
That's
the other
$5. I could have won $20.
That point arc was the way that he pushed it. So I mean, he was pushing it the wrong direction anyway.
So, but it's that wasn't a fake. I just knew he was going to miss it, and he missed it.
I mean, he's a rookie too. Like, it's one of those situations. Like,
a second kick, right, or like third kick.
No, he's been there all year. He's made like 26 or 27 field goals all year. He's a rookie, but it was just one of those situations where like that was the biggest kick of his NFL career up to this point because he's been a rookie. Like a lot of the games the Ravens have been in,
I think that was he said that it was probably his second game winning kick.
Yeah, second game when he had another game winner early in the year, like 3 or 4 weeks into the season. But like this was like the biggest kick of his life so far. So you knew there was gonna be a ton of pressure on him as it was.
So,
Yeah.
but another game where they put the flags away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a game where they let them play it out. I really was excited about that because that was actually probably one of the best games of the weekend.
Yeah, it
No
was.
question. Yeah, no, it was a great.
Like I went to the bathroom after Pittsburgh scored that touchdown, and then I come out of the bathroom, and then Baltimore had already scored.
Mhm.
I'm like, damn. Flowers had a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still don't think Harbaugh's getting fired. That being said, there has been action already today. The Falcons fire their head coach, their GM, and remove their CEO from the position.
Yeah,
They're going to create a president of football operations position, and they have Matt Ryan as the front runner for that.
Yep.
What's interesting about how that development is coming together is the president of football operations will have final say ahead of the GM when it comes to, roster. We've seen that not work particularly well because it's the situation that the Titans just got rid of. So I'll be curious to see, if that actually works out for Atlanta because it sure didn't work for the Titans. But they're full.
The difference between the Titans and is Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being on pregame shows and like highlight shows, I think Matt Ryan has a little bit of a background too now, just kind of everything outside of just when he was with the Falcons and the Colts. Like he has more of a broad understanding of the NFL landscape now and kind of what it takes to maybe build up that roster.
It's the exact path that John Lynch took.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying the layout of it is what the Titans just fumbled through.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, but that worked great up until the point that they got rid of A.J. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And getting rid of A.J. Brown made your coach not trust the organization anymore, and he coached that way.
Because you got rid of A.J. Brown and you didn't replace A.J. Brown with anybody. You tried to replace him with Treylon Burks, who ended up not working out at all. Like, if you're going to get rid of a guy like A.J. Brown, you have to at least do something to replace that guy.
Well, I mean, their GM wasn't exactly bringing talent onto that team anyway.
Then you had Kevin Stefanski got fired this morning, which he's probably happy they fired him.
So they live in that purgatory?
Yeah.
Bengals have decided to bring Zach Taylor back.
Who?
Bengals have decided to bring Zach Taylor and the GM back one more year.
They don't fire anybody over there.
It's the second part of that seems crazy to me.
The GM part, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the way they've been spending money. I would definitely question whether the GM should be there or not. Not so much Stefanski. I mean, some of that's not in his control.
Hey, Rob, he didn't do anything for you in that game. I tell you, the 49ers defense is about as horrible a defense as could be.
That's why
Sam Darnold you guys scored 13 points.
That's why Sam Darnold
Your defense won that game.
Yep.
Full stop. Your defense won that game. So you could say all the things you want about Sam Darnold not giving it away.
All things being equal, Sam Darnold did have a good day.
I'm happy for Darnold.
We couldn't finish the drive in the end zone, but they dominated time of possession. Like the offense took care of the ball.
Yeah. I'm happy for Sam Darnold, obviously. The biggest difference this year, why he was able to win the game against the 49ers this year as opposed to the game against the Lions last year, the Lions had a pass rush. The 49ers do not have a pass rush right now, and that's ultimately why
before that game was even played, I said the biggest thing in this is the fact that the 49ers don't have a pass rush will help Sam Darnold out a lot.
Also, here's the other thing. And here's the reason why you guys were able to hold the ball for as long as you guys did, because the moment that they didn't run the ball, you guys, your drive stalled. Was you're running the ball. They have no run defense. Not only do they have no pass rush, they cannot stop the run.
Yep.
You know, that running back could have ran all day long. And when the offensive coordinator decided to, have Darnold throw the ball, that was when your drive stalled. And every time he got within the red zone, he tried to make Darnold look like a star, and Darnold didn't look like a star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, the play calling got really frustrating in the red zone.
I was going to say, because definitely, Charbonnet and Walker, those guys had no problems running that ball. You're right. Shaheed, Big Jigma. I mean, like, Bo, you guys are getting ready to go into the playoffs. You guys are sitting pretty nice in a good spot. What are you looking for in offense? I know you're talking about the play calling. Is that really the biggest issue on that offense?
No, again,
the offense is fine.
Issue with Seattle as a team is the protection up front for Darnold, because that Darnold can do the job when he has protection. Right. And against the Niners, he did fine. Now, obviously, the play calling got, questionable once you got into the red zone, but Darnold had a decent day. He threw for a couple 100 yards. The touchdown was a running play, but it was the fact that they could keep him protected because San Francisco doesn't have a pass rush. As soon as we start to see some teams that do have a pass rush, that's where I'm going to get really interested in the way Sam Darnold handles it. Because when you think of when they played the Rams, right? We played them twice. Point differential between the two games is 1 point, right? But Sam threw, I want to say, 6 interceptions between those two games.
Sam Darnold is 28-6. The last 2 years as a starter, 14-3 last year. 14.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
But the point that I was going to make, but kind of what you said with the pass rush, though, in the 6 losses that Darnold has the last 2 years, he's been sacked 31 times in those 6 games, and he's thrown 15 interceptions in those 6 games. Take the 28 wins, he's been sacked 23 times in the 28 wins, and he's got like 8 interceptions in those 28 wins. So if you protect the guy, he has shown that he is a good quarterback, and with Seattle's defense being as good as they are, all you need is Sam Darnold to be an average quarterback and not turn the ball over, and Seattle has a chance to win the whole thing.
No, and
here's the issue. I think that has to go with Seattle, and I'm not trying to talk bad about Seattle. I think that the week off is going to hurt them, not help them. I feel like that defense is rolling right now. And you give them a week off.
I disagree because we get our tackles back.
I'm telling you, I think that I feel like that they have done really well. Listen, nobody wanted to be the 5 seed either. You know what I mean? So winning actually does right. You get the number 1 seed so you can get that week off. And now you've got to prepare, in 2 weeks for this. And you get everybody healthy and everybody's going to be back. And you're going to have, what are you going to have out of all said and done from the beginning of the season? Something like 21 out of 22 starters, right? Mm-hmm. There's like only one guy that you guys lost for the year.
No. We have a few, but the big thing is us getting our offensive tackles back will be huge, because that's something that we haven't had over the last few weeks.
Well, yeah. Well, you just said one of the biggest things you're having a problem with is protecting him, which is a tackle. That's the whole job of the tackle, protect the blind side. So you're right. I mean, so you feel like when you get those 2 tackles back, if you were to face San Francisco again or whoever else, you think that they're going to do a good enough job protecting them, keeping them upright, which would then get your offense back on track? In terms of that,
well, you're going to get the Rams. I think you're going to get the Rams. I think the Rams obviously are going to be the one team that's probably I don't see Carolina holding serve.
I think.
However, interestingly enough, Carolina beat the Rams.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but for whatever reason, when teams go into the playoffs with that losing record, they tend to win that first game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
I think Seattle gets Green Bay. I think Green Bay beats Chicago. I think Seattle's getting Green Bay in the division.
Agreed. So do I.
I would love that, except for the fact that I hate to have to go to Seattle.
Yeah, I think
because there's
the way the Bears have played both games against the Packers. They've looked like crap the first half, and then Caleb Williams starts to play well midway through the third quarter into the fourth quarter, and they end up tying it late and either go into overtime or they lose in the final seconds. If the Bears get off to a slow start in the playoffs against Green Bay, they're not coming back. Like, the Packers will bury them by halftime. That's why, like, if Williams doesn't get off to a fast start, that's one of the games where I think it could be over by halftime.
They stink so bad, though. They stink so bad.
Who does?
Packers.
I know
Packers.
they do. I know they do, but this is their biggest rival, and the way history has shaped up with these two teams. Packers went into Chicago in the 2010 NFC Championship game, beat the Bears there. Packers went into Chicago in Week 17 in 2018, beat the Bears there to eliminate the Bears from the playoffs. Now they're going to Soldier Field again in the division in the wild card round. I think the Bears do have the better team, but just given the way history has gone and knowing that this is Caleb Williams' first playoff game, this is Jordan Love's sixth playoff game, I'm not going to bet against the Packers in this one. Now, if this was
here's the question for you then. If the Bears lose to the Packers, how do you rank this season for them?
They're a year ahead. I thought the Bears were going to be a wild card team this year that was fighting it out for the 7 seed, kind of how the Packers finished 9-7-1. I had the Bears as like a 9-8 team, possibly a 10-7 team that would sneak into the playoffs and be one and done anyways, because as a 7 seed, you're going to be going on the road. I didn't think the Bears would be an 11-6 team winning the division this year, so I think they're actually a year ahead. So even if they lose to the Packers, yes, it's going to sting. But I'm pretty sure everyone in Chicago this year is already viewing this season as a success, because not only did they make the playoffs for the first time since 2020, they won the division for the first time since 2018. So, like, they've accomplished so much this year that a lot of people didn't expect them to accomplish.
Definitely about Chicago. They are definitely this is definitely a successful season. I mean, they've turned this franchise around like a ridiculously quick fashion. Hold on. But my question though is with Chicago and Bo, when I was watching that game against Detroit last night, I was thinking about what you were saying about Caleb Williams, about once he gets beyond those 15 scripted plays, he tends to look a little lost. And when I watched that fourth quarter, there were a couple of instances where he did look lost, because he didn't have the scripted play. Now, my question to you is, I feel like one of the biggest things for Caleb Williams that they need to work with him on over the offseason is his football IQ. Like you said, getting past that 15 scripted plays and reading the defenses so you can do better job calling your audibles. Because if you can't get past the 15 scripted plays, or even if you could in the 15 scripted plays, and then how do you call audibles if you don't know how to read the defense?
Yeah, so he was getting better towards the end of the season here. Yeah. So it's not like he's maintain the same level or regressed or anything like that. Like he was getting better as the year went on. Yeah. So I think another off season, having Ben Johnson come back, because I mean, you also got to keep in mind at the beginning of the season, he was just getting a whole new coaching staff. So I mean, that can always slow some guys down. But Ben Johnson was super critical of him, not only through training camp and everything, but also for the first 8 weeks of the season. So you really started to see him come along. Now, I don't know if maybe there was some terminology change that Ben Johnson was using to help Caleb Williams come along, but he was doing better. Obviously, it's still a work in progress, right? Like you see him still get lost once the scripted plays are done, but it's just not as often as it was.
And this will also be the first time that Williams will have the same play caller 2 straight years, because he went through 3 different play callers as a rookie. He started the year with Luke Getsy. Getsy got fired. Then they went to Thomas Brown. Brown got promoted to the head coach when Eberflus got fired, and then Chris Beatty took over. So Caleb Williams had 3 separate play callers his rookie year, and then he had Ben Johnson this year. So this will be the first time he has the continuity with that. But the other thing that I think the Bears are set up well for is their future. They only have $6 million in dead cap space. and they have like $140 million in actual open cap space. They have the second most cap money of any team in the NFL. So the Bears are in a position to spend a ton of money while Caleb Williams still has this rookie deal. While a lot like Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, and a lot of this team they assembled is all under rookie deals right now. So the Bears defense has been terrible in terms of points allowed, in terms of yards allowed, but they lead the NFL in forced turnovers. You can bet they're going to invest a lot of money onto that defense this year after they spent all that money on their offensive line this year, which panned out in a big way.
Yeah.
No, I'm not related to Mike Hawk, but thank you.
I do think I do think they're ahead of schedule, like you said.
Yeah.
Them and the Patriots, really.
Yeah.
Both of those teams, I think, are ahead of schedule. So even if they do flame out, you got to look at this season as a win.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised if the Bears win. I'm just not gonna pick them. That's why I think Seattle's gonna end up getting Green Bay.
I mean,
yeah, I think Green Bay beats them also.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, if I was a fan or even ownership of the Chicago Bears, I mean, I'd be freaking ecstatic. I mean, I know a friend of mine, Mike Hughes. We all know Mike Hughes. He's a Bears fan, and he was at the game. He had the big thing with the Bears. Everybody, I've never seen people happy in Chicago. I guess what I'm saying is this is the first time I see people actually happy about that franchise and what they're doing, and that's a big thing for a city.
Well, they finally have a direction.
Yeah.
It's since Urlacher. Since Urlacher, that's really I feel like they have not been very excited in Chicago since him.
They finally have a quarterback, and they finally have a quarterback, a coach, and a direction, which is something they have not. They haven't had a quarterback in forever, but they haven't had a coach and a direction since Lovie Smith was there. They finally have like all three pieces kind of aligned at the same time.
They did come up short on the first 4,000-yard season, though.
By 53 yards.
Coming into the game. And
he did break the record, though, for all other. Like, he's got the most passing yards of ever. Again, I think he beat. Who did he beat?
Eric Kramer.
Kramer, yeah, I was going to say. I wasn't sure if it was Kramer or Gannon.
He beat Eric Kramer's franchise record for passing yards. He has the second most touchdown passes in a single season, only behind Jay Cutler, who had like 31 or 32 the year the Bears went to the NFC Championship game, and he ended up 52 yards shy of that 4,000-yard mark.
Yeah, no, it was funny because he needed 270, and I was like, oh, watch him only get 225. And then 212.
But he only had 47 yards at halftime, though.
I was doing it just as a hater, right? Like, I was like, he's going to miss it because it'd be funny. And then it ended up being like within 10 yards of what I thought he was going to get.
Yeah, and he only had 47 yards passing at halftime, too. He had like 176 in the second half. So that was like another classic. Like, he got off to such a horrible start, but all of a sudden, game turns to halftime and he starts playing well. I'm like, you even have a halfway decent first half, like 90 yards passing. You're at 4,000 yards. It's just that your first half was so terrible, you made it difficult to get to that point.
No, it was funny. Again, just. That's just the hater end of it. I think it's funny for the Bears franchise to still have never hit that mark.
Right. I mean, you also had
I kind of felt bad though for Kendrick Bourne though, because he only needed like 9 yards, 26 yards, something small, and he only got one target. And I'm like, man, and that would have been what, a $500,000 escalator, I think, in his contract if he would have got that 9 yards or 26 yards, whatever that number was. It was very small. It was under 30. And I thought,
did Diggs make it? Did Diggs make his money?
I don't think he did.
No, I don't even know if he played, did he?
No.
Stephon Diggs? Not Trayvon.
What did you think about Trayvon Diggs going to the Packers?
Didn't help
him.
Didn't help him yesterday.
I called it, actually. I thought that the Packers needed to pick up some defense.
Yeah.
Just so that we know, and I just wanted to announce this really quickly, Bo wound up having the most playoff teams predicted at the beginning of the season. You were gone that day, Dustin, so I don't know why we don't have you. But Bo chose 9. I have 8. Jay had 7.
Okay.
Some of the big misses. We all had Kansas City. That was a big miss. We all had Baltimore.
Yep.
That was a big miss. Me and Jay had Miami.
It was close.
Me and Jay had Miami. We all had Washington.
Yeah.
Which was a big miss. Notable misses.
Injuries, though, because I think Washington would have been there if it weren't for all the
I think that you guys all have the Lions, too.
all three of us had the Lions.
Which is
as
another
well.
team that got hampered with injuries.
So,
Well, that consistency too.
Well, the big thing for that was you had all the injuries like you did before. You just
we all had Tampa
Right.
too, by the way.
coordinator changes. So
All had Tampa, and my big whiff was Atlanta.
Yeah.
Jay's big whiff was Arizona.
Yeah. Sure was.
oh, I forgot you said Arizona.
I did. I
also
took
chose- I also
took
said
a flyer
Indy.
on that one.
I also said Indianapolis was going to win that division.
Hey,
That
it
was
looked good for
a
about
miss
9
on my
weeks.
side.
Yeah.
And I looked great up until week 9.
Yeah.
Speaking of the bonus, like the bonuses that we were talking about the other day, Rico Dowdle came into Saturday needing 9 yards to get a $1 million bonus.
Yeah.
Boy, did he do his part not to get that because he finished with 7 carries for 10 yards.
Hey, it didn't hurt the fact that his
by
cleats.
1 yard.
Hey, hold on. That
Hey,
dude was
he got it.
slipping and falling all over the place till he changed those damn cleats and got longer spikes. There was a lot of places where he was slipping and falling.
He made it difficult on himself not to get that bonus, but he's like, okay, I got 10 yards. Don't give me another snap. I'm good.
I didn't even notice. Jay, you're wearing a Tool shirt?
Corn.
Corn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doesn't say.
I do have a Tool shirt though. I love Tool.
The Giants have
I like
informed Joe Shane that he is returning as the GM. That is stupid.
Good. That's Mora, the owner over there, being the owner over there.
That is stupid.
Mara, not Mora.
Yeah.
I saw some news where Philip Rivers was going to start getting some contract
Yes.
talks for head coaching jobs. Now I don't
Yes.
think he'll get it. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow, okay. All that based off of a high school coaching job, and now he's getting head coaching interests.
Well, you want to know why? Because he was able to read defenses much better than most of the quarterbacks in the league.
Yep.
Right.
And that's a big deal. I don't know if he'll get a head coach,
He'll interview
but I would
for that.
absolutely make him the quarterback's coach.
Oh, yeah.
To I wouldn't be surprised. Interestingly enough, I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Johnson doesn't bring him in for Caleb Williams.
That would be a really smart idea, especially since going back to what Bo was saying, how he started off in the year and then to now. That would definitely boost up that IQ of his.
The other team that I was going to say, now that we just kind of brought him up, I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants tried to bring him as a quarterback coach for Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
I think that the Giants. So this is where I think that Shane's going to screw that up, or Sean's going to screw that up. I think that it's possible they trade Jackson Dart.
There was talk about that yesterday, saying that if the Giants make that trade, it would be with the Raiders.
But why would you?
Jackson Dart for the number 1 pick.
No way. They would. The Raiders wouldn't do that. So there was a piece of me that thought that Tanner McKee was going to play much better than he did. And had Tanner McKee had the day I expected him to have, because I really thought that he would do amazing.
Yeah, you're pretty
I
high on
expected-
Tanner.
I am pretty high on
A
Tanner.
lot of people are.
And I thought that if he threw like 4 touchdowns, that it was possible that the Raiders would actually trade. Who's their defensive guy who's going to be out of there?
Crosby.
Crosby, and the Eagles would trade a 4th round pick or a 3rd round pick and Tanner McKee to the Raiders, and then the Raiders could actually auction off that first pick or actually get like an offensive line.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you could do a lot. Like you could probably, I'm thinking of teams that have like multiple 1st round picks.
Jets are the one that has, I think, the number 2 pick, and now that the Colts missed the playoffs, they're like number 14. So the Jets are 2 and 14.
Yes.
But why would the
So
Giants want to
they're-
move on from Dart since they
Jets
literally
are,
just drafted him?
The Jets are 2 and 16.
2 and 16, yeah, because they have the Colts 1st round pick, yeah.
No, it's not that they want to. It's just that when you look at what he can do, his upside in comparison to some of the upside, like I think I'll be honest. I think that they would go get Manning.
Mhm.
You know,
But
that's
I'm
a
trying to understand,
giant
are you-
thing
are you
to do.
still with
That's a New
Jackson?
York thing to do.
Okay,
That
so
is.
you're saying that that's just something that franchise typically does, not that they need to trade him.
No,
They don't
they
need
do.
to,
They
but-
don't need to. They just would because
The
they're
new coach.
idiots.
Does the new coach coming in and the new coordinators he's going to bring with him want Jackson Dart, or does that new coach think Jackson Dart's going to fit whatever he wants to do? That's always the problem when you have a new coach coming in after a team just drafted a rookie quarterback. It's like, does this coach we're bringing in think Dart's the guy, or are we going to be kind of put in a position where it's like, oh, we need to trade Dart because the new coach does not want him?
I mean, that team needs enough other pieces. You probably see what you have in Dart.
Yeah.
And I mean, because they're the 5th overall pick right now. So, I mean, they could fix some other elements of their team as opposed to get rid of the guy they just drafted to draft another guy and still not really address the other gaping holes that fill that roster. So now the Giants are a dumb franchise. So, I mean, they'll mess this up. But I mean, I think you have enough in Dart that you can see what you have in him moving forward. Now, one guy over the weekend that, showed out for his first start was Riley Leonard. He looked pretty good. He made some mistakes. He was playing the number 1 defense in the league. And but he was able to move that ball around. And you can say that it was against backups and stuff, but the first half wasn't. First half was against their starting lineup.
Mhm.
So it wasn't until
Leonard. That was
The Colts quarterback.
Yeah. I thought you meant that just because the way you explained the defense. I thought it was against Houston. I know that game went to like 36.
No. What I was saying is, as soon as the Jags won, that's when Houston pulled their starters because they couldn't win after that. So that's why I brought the Jags into that. I just hadn't finished
Got you.
what I was saying.
All right.
Damn it, Pags.
But no, I'm talking about just that the quarterback. That there was some good play. I mean, that was a high scoring game in the first half. And I was surprised to see Houston giving up so much. And I was like, Jacksonville, I mean, Jacksonville was killing the Titans though. So it was early. It was like 21-0. And I got to imagine at that point, that's when Houston probably started to pull their starters.
Yeah, Houston pulled basically all their starters for the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to have an idea of doing that because, unless Jacksonville just really pooped the bed, I mean, there was no way they were going to lose to Tennessee. Tennessee is in such a disarray right now.
No, for sure. But anyway, the point was Riley Leonard came in to his first start against the top defense and did some work. I mean, they scored the points that Houston gave up all year.
It's got to give the Colts a little bit of confidence in Leonard now, knowing that if they bring Jones back, Jones is obviously not going to be ready to start the season. So now you have a guy in Leonard that just showed up against the best defense in the NFL. So it's like, hey, maybe we can roll a little bit with Leonard.
What do you do with Richardson?
They're moving.
Oh, I think you trade him or let him go, release him one way or the other.
I mean, they're moving on from him. But at the same time, then you're wondering, do you mess with Jones?
Or actuality, could they then go to Anthony Richardson and say, hey, look, maybe quarterback's not your position, but we love your athletic ability. How about trying this position or this position?
No, they
a Taysom Hill kind of thing.
They destroyed that relationship earlier this year.
Yeah.
Like the only way forward is to part ways.
Yeah, Jones was 8-2 as a starter this year before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Knowing that, I think that alone will be enough for the Colts to bring him back on a 2-year deal and be like, you're hurt, rehab, and then we'll see what we got.
What was it again? Was it his Achilles or was it his? It was Achilles, right?
Yeah, but he's not under contract, right?
No.
It was a 1-year deal, and so they may because he looked good while he was there, but they may not because at the same time, do they think that Jonathan Taylor is going to get off to the start that he had this year?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But even with Daniel Jones, how do they know how he's going to rehab?
Hold on.
No, I mean, we all talk to each other. I mean, why are you telling me to hold on?
Well, no, but the only time Daniel Jones has looked good is when he's had a running back that is, in the conversation for setting rushing records.
Yeah.
Do you think Jonathan Taylor's going to do that 2 years in a row? Probably not.
Nope.
So do you mess with bringing back a guy that is going to be there for maybe part of the season?
Yeah.
Well, how does anybody really take a flyer on Daniel Jones when he's got an Achilles and a fibula tear same year? How do you know what his rehab's going to look like? Is there going to be setbacks? That's so many unknowns with that.
That's why I think someone will take a chance on him in like a 2-year deal, but backload it, where the first year is not like, we'll just say like a 2-year, $30 million deal. But the first year is like $8 million basically, where you get him in, you build him to.
Yeah, I think that's high.
That seems really high.
Fine, we'll do 2 at 20. 2 at 20, and then like first year or whatever is like a $5 million deal, just so you can get him in your building, let him do all the rehab process in your building to kind of see how he does. And then you basically have him on kind of a similar deal to what he was with this year. He made $14 million this year. Then you have him for $12 million next year. Again, a 1-year prove-it deal where if you stay healthy, let's see what you can do, and then go from there, because he's still only 28. So it's not like you wouldn't be able to give him like a 3 or 4 year extension if it panned out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you know what it takes for him to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only going to be a team that has a good offensive line and a above average, top 5 running back.
Right.
So it's happening, Cam.
Did you guys you guys know who Brendan Sorsby is, right?
I don't.
So
I do not.
University of Cincinnati quarterback. He's like the top quarterback transfer that entered the portal.
Okay.
Just committed to Texas Tech this morning for $5.4 million.
Damn.
That's where the NIL is right now in college.
Hey, that's almost up to Archie Manning. I think Archie Manning, what he got? I think he got $6 million.
No, he's making more than Arch now. Arch is at $5 million even. He's
Is he at 5? I thought Archie was at 6.
He's ahead of Arch.
Go get that money.
Hell
That's
yeah, man.
No guarantee that the NFL is going to work out. So get that money.
Great.
Man.
Did he play against Navy?
Sorsby?
Yeah.
I believe he did.
Navy killed them.
Yeah, I think Sorsby played well though. Navy killed Cincinnati, but I think Sorsby played well.
How well could he have played? They scored like 7 points.
I'm gonna check because Sorsby was like the number 1 transfer, and then the number 2 transfer was the TCU quarterback who committed to Indiana for $4.8 million. So TCU's quarterback now is basically the heir apparent to Fernando Mendoza.
But to answer your question, no, he didn't. I don't think. I think he didn't because he was in the transfer portal.
That could be
Okay, because if that was the case, then that would make a big difference.
yeah, because Sorsby was
But
good.
Cincinnati had like 28 people that were in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Cincinnati, why so many people entered the portal.
But you said Sorsby played, but I was looking at this 35-13 over Cincinnati.
He did not play.
He did not play.
Nope.
He did not play.
Oh, okay. I thought you said he had played.
No,
Okay.
I thought he did. He did not play because he was in the portal.
Because I watched that game because I was like,
Okay.
this one should be fun. And then Navy went in and beat the brakes off him. And it's something that they brought up a few times during the broadcast.
And you know what? You know how many people are in the transfer portal on Navy?
Well, of course.
But I don't even know. Wait, hold on. Can you even go to the transfer portal?
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I thought. Okay, I see you're trying to make fun. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. None of the.
Oh, that is a good thing about being in the military schools. You have to worry about transfer portals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's also much harder for them to recruit players.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can see your point on that.
It is.
Yeah,
But I'll tell you what, though. Hey, if I was a parent of a kid that was lucky enough to go to Annapolis or West Point, and he thought about transfer portaling, I said, no, you keep your butt right there. You just keep your butt.
And Trinidad Chambliss officially has an agreement in place with the NCAA for an extra year of eligibility, and he is going to be returning to Mississippi as opposed to jumping with Lane Kiffin at LSU. So Trinidad Chambliss.
That's another thing I think you're going to start to see happen. You're going to see 5th and 6th year players in the NCAA.
Well, that's what did you see the thing they showed with Indiana?
No.
So a lot of people were saying like how you can buy rosters, which you can depending on the university when it comes to NIL, like Alabama, Ohio State, like these big programs, you can buy a championship or at least a championship caliber team with the NIL money you get. You look at Indiana's roster, they only have one starter on their roster that is under the age of 21. Everybody else that starts for Indiana is between 21 and 23 years old, and they said you can also buy a championship with experience. And everybody on Indiana is either a junior or a senior that is starting. Granted, they did transfer into the program, but it's still a junior or a senior that has multiple years of college experience. So it's like you can spend money for a championship caliber roster with a bunch of expensive freshmen, or you can build it up with a bunch of juniors and seniors that have experience like Indiana did.
But how many of those juniors and seniors are on NIL deals?
None.
They're all non-NIL money.
A lot of them transferred from James Madison with Kirk Cignetti. Like Kirk Cignetti recruited them as freshmen. They were there their freshman, sophomore years. They transferred over to Indiana when he transferred over there, so they've now juniors and seniors. Mendoza's on an NIL deal, but his NIL deal was initially from California. So he actually didn't get an NIL deal with Indiana.
No, it's funny because the way Cignetti has put that together is how college football used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he might have, I think Cignetti got away with it this one, like you said, because he brought James Madison players over like Dion did over there. I get that. But I can't imagine Indiana, and they're not going to sustain that. They're going to spend NIL.
No, they will. They just got TCU.
There's no way they do that. Why would a kid go to Indiana and turn down NIL money to go play at another school? Why would he go play for Cignetti for free? I mean, is Cignetti just that great that they're going to turn down that much money to go play for him? That'd be crazy.
So it just depends on what it is you're trying to do.
Yeah,
I understand, but I mean, money's still money.
Are you trying to get money or are you trying to win? Because that doesn't always mean the same thing.
Yeah, Cignetti's going to have that program at the top.
You're going to tell most of these kids that winning is more important than the money. I find that hard to believe. I mean, I just do. I don't see many kids turning down millions of dollars.
Well, you don't need many kids. You don't need many.
But I think a lot would.
But again, you don't need many.
You just need a couple.
So, and I look at this, and I look at Indiana, and I look at, again, it's so weird that I actually compare NCAA football to hockey, but I look at the Vegas Knights, and when they were built as a team, the way that everything was done, they took top tier B players and low tier A players, put them all together, and now you have a great team. Yep. With the landscape of the NCAA and everybody transferring out because of the money, if you grab that level, low A, high B, offer them a little bit. I mean, I got to imagine that Indiana guys, that they're getting some money. Yeah, they're not getting the millions of dollars. They're getting some money.
Yep.
And they're winning national championships. And there's a thought process to that. Hey, you're going to make your money in the NFL. So you show how to win. Having that championship caliber, winning championships, it doesn't matter on what level, creates winning future.
Yep, and that's the argument they made with Texas and Georgia and a lot of in Alabama for that matter, like to see what college athletes value right now, because you have Texas who has their top 3 running backs in the portal right now. Georgia has a bunch of players in the portal right now. Alabama does too, and I forgot who said it. It might have been Joel Klatt, but it's like it's getting to the point now where you have these high school seniors. Would I rather go to an Alabama or an Ohio State and make $2 million a year and not play? Or would I rather go to a school like Indiana and maybe get paid $400,000 or $500,000 a year, but play right away and get into the level that Indiana's at? And that's why you're starting to see like a lot of these.
But you just made my point. Regardless of what the monetary amount is, they're still taking money.
They are.
It could be 100,000. It could be 500,000.
Yeah,
you cannot tell me there's a kid out there turning down money. I don't know of any child out there that's turning down money or parents, especially when they're coming from single family households or under the poverty line households, which I know a lot of them are. A good portion of them are. You can't tell me they're turning down that kind of money. I just don't see that.
Every team in college football has a certain amount of money they can give players.
Right.
It just depends on how much money the program gets. But there are players now that are turning down $2 million and taking $600,000 because they actually want to play and they don't want to sit on a bench for 2 years like they're doing in Alabama and Georgia and some of these bigger schools.
Right.
They want a chance to play. So that's why you're seeing all these players now leave these big schools, which was never a thing even 5-6 years ago. Like if you were a freshman at Georgia, you were going to sit for 3 years before you might get your opportunity, but those players would still stay there. Now they're going there getting paid, and it's just like, no, I want to play. So then they transfer out after their freshman year, and they're landing on teams like Indiana. They're landing on teams that used to be kind of bottom feeder programs that are now starting to build those programs up because they want to play and they want to win. They'll take the less money, just a chance to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So since we have 10 minutes left, I don't mean to cut out and change the subject, but what's up with River Falls?
Glad you asked. So a Division III national championship game was last night.
Division III
For college football.
You're not 6A? Oh, over college.
For college
My
football,
bad.
Division
Oh.
III national championship game was
My
last night, and this is kind of why I tied the NIL stuff into this. When you want to watch the most pure form of college football, Division III is the most pure form because there is no NIL money. Players aren't transferring year to year to go to different programs because you're not getting paid to play for college football. River Falls was a team in Division III that has had 4 winning seasons since 1996. They haven't made the NCAA playoffs until this past year since 1996. They go into the NCAA playoffs this year. They made it all the way to the championship game last night. Took on North Central, who is the cream of the crop in Division III, as in they've made the last 7 national championship games, winning 4 of them. And River Falls knocked them off 24-14 last night. In the process, their quarterback, who is a senior, Caleb Blaha, passed Joe Burrow for the most yards in NCAA history in a single season with 6,158 total yards of offense.
Nice.
Never heard of River Falls though. That's a part of University of Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's right on the border of Minnesota. Like, it's a 5-minute drive to Minnesota. It is literally right on the Mississippi River.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, admittedly, I don't watch a lot of D3.
No, I usually don't. Like, obviously, I watch my alma mater, who's D3, but like I watch like the end of the D3 playoffs because those are actually put on ESPN and not on like the ESPN Plus networks. Like the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the championship game are all on ESPN. But yeah, so this is a team that was basically the ultimate David and Goliath matchup. Like North Central, 7 straight national championship games. They've lost a total of like 3 games the last 7 years, going up against a team that made the playoffs for the first time in 25 years, and that team that made the playoffs for the first time in forever wins it.
There you go.
Well, you know what they say, West Coast win. You got to have money to be able to live on money. Sometimes
So to answer West Coast there, ESPN Plus is where you would get a lot of the D3 playoff games, but to watch any of the D3 games, every university has like their own streaming service you can watch. So all you got to do is just go to the school's athletic page, click on the sport you want to watch, and then every sport that they have like their own streaming service that is typically free that you can just watch.
The coverage is usually terrible though.
So it's always broadcasted by like the college students that are like in the broadcasting programs at the school. So like the production isn't great, the quality of the broadcast isn't great, but it's still like you still have the camera views, you still have like the live streams where you can watch the games, just not as high quality.
Yeah.
I want to look at percentage. I want to look at percentage of players though make it to the NFL coming from D3. I would imagine they go to D3 to get noticed by D1 or whatever, to go to D1, transfer, and then make it up. I just wonder what the percentages of players coming out of D3 that go up that channel of the colleges
There's been
make it to the NFL.
As far as I know, because the River Falls is in the same conference that my college was in, there's been 5 players from that conference that have gone directly from D3 to the NFL since 2015.
Oh, wow.
3 of them have come from UW Whitewater, which I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Whitewater.
I know Whitewater. I don't know about
they won like 9 national championships in a row from like 2007 to like 2014. And they have 3 offensive linemen right now that are in the NFL. One of them is with the Jags, who just signed an extension.
Nice.
And then there was a wide receiver from UW Oshkosh that was on the Jaguars practice squad for a couple of years and then got hurt. And then there was I think a punter from UW Stevens Point that was in the NFL for like 4 or 5 years. As far as I know, Caleb Blaha does plan to go to the Combine just to kind of gauge teams' interest, whether that means a practice squad contract or even landing in the UFL. He wants to go to the Combine to get some eyes on him, especially after the season that he had this year.
Hey, real quick, since we only have 2 seconds left, my wife saw your video Facebook, Pags, with your mini me dressed up in paint. She's like, "Oh my God, this is the cutest damn thing I've ever seen in my life." I'm like, "Yeah, he's pretty cute kid." I'm assuming that's your son.
No,
no?
that is my girlfriend's grandson.
Okay. Well, my wife thought he looked really cute like that. So.
Well, yeah, that video went mini viral. It was kind of funny just because it's like I'm like saying this is the reason why you don't have me babysit your kids, and he's all painted up, and he woke up the next morning after taking a shower or a bath the night before and was wondering where his face paint went. So he was not happy to wake up in the morning without his face paint, but
man, that could be Pags 2.0 right there coming up the pipeline.
There you go.
Hey, that's how it starts. You know what I mean? At 3 years old, he knows all the Eagles, stuff, and can sing the whole fight song and says Dallas sucks and stuff like that.
God bless him. God bless him.
Nice.
I guess you're teaching him right, Pags.
Exactly. You got to start him young.
Hey, I knew Pags when you were about this high. And the Cowboys still suck, probably because Jerry Jones is probably still alive. I don't think they'd ever.
Listen, I expect Jerry Jones to be alive for 28 more years.
Man, I expect him never to die.
He's going to be RoboCop. They're just going to throw his brain in a machine body, and
I expect Jerry Jones to be running that team after all 4 of us die.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's going to be just the head in a jar.
When you see that show, he's the Antichrist. He is the comeback for the rapture. He will reign over all Philadelphians and everybody alike.
We'll see.
That escalated.
Good luck with that.
That being said, hope you enjoyed this weird show to start off the season.
Hell yeah, let's go.
If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. Otherwise, we are going to get out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.